of the deepest blue.
We had what I thought was a pretty, like, perfect family life.
I mean, it wasn't just like a slight, decrease to the point where like we just got poorer and poorer and poorer. It was more just like going from like what we were to like nothing. And then we just had to build our way back up since then.
It just doesn't make us seem like a normal family half the time.
I mean, heat and electric get turned off all the time for like days sometimes. I mean, that never, you never even like expect that to happen like at our old house. I would never once in my mind think about walking up from the school bus and seeing one of those little things hanging from the doorknob that says your stuff's turned off. So, I mean, you owe money. Like that never happens.
The flames and smoke climbed out of every window and disappeared with everything that you held dear. But you shed not a single tear for the things that you didn't need, 'cause you knew you were finally free.
We knew at that point that this was the last day that we were going to be able to grab anything. And I remember standing in my room and just looking at all my stuff, like, okay, what can I fit into a box? What can I take with me? Like, I'm starting over. This is it. I can't grab my Legos. I can't grab my Matchbox cars. I can grab, a couple of books and, my most favorite things, and I gotta leave. And I'm leaving everything that I had up until that point behind. It's over. It's gone. It's done.
So I want to talk about women in divorce. So we know that women's incomes drop significantly immediately after divorce and continue to decrease over several years.
It was just a normal life. I had friends, I went to school, I had a dog, I had pets, I had a playground and a dirt bike and a mom and a dad. And it was normal, and it was normal. I don't know. It was good.
When people are working full-time at a minimum wage job or close to minimum wage job, they make so little to support themselves and their family that they qualify for all sorts of social services. And they're working very hard. It's not that they're not working hard.
At least going back to college now, there's a chance that I will do better later. Now I'm only making about $15,000 a year or less.
I think the attitude is that they're using the system, that they're abusing it, that they're lazy, that they don't want to get up, that they don't want to go and work.
That isn't true. That isn't true. People have to work really hard when they're on DSS, when they get those programs.
The only thing that basically the state tells these young women is that all you have to do is lay on your back and we'll take care of you.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, is it legalized prostitution?
These welfare people dress better than I do, and I work full-time.
They better be glad no way like me running the country, because there's going to be a lot of starving homeless motherfuckers.
There are a lot of people who are really careful about being, say, overtly racist, or they're very careful about not appearing sexist or homophobic or something like that, but they still think it's okay or don't question the prevailing attitude that poverty is sort of a social fault of somebody. Like somebody is not a good person because they're poor. They've done something wrong.
When I was a kid, everything went well, and everything was good. We had everything that we needed, at least. I mean, we weren't living like millionaires, but we had everything we needed. And that was kind of the phase where things started shifting to, now I'm at the point where if the electricity goes off, it's just happening again. It's not a big deal. It's going off. It'll be back on eventually, but I know there was a time where that was shocking, and I don't feel that way anymore.
The worst is like in the winter when they turn the heat off, though. It's just like, it kind of sickens me, because like, how can you turn off people's heat in the winter?
We're getting food from people who are doing it. Like we were like the lowest of the low.
With it boarded up, you didn't feel like you were living your life. You just felt like you were staying in some random place. It didn't even like seem like our house anymore. It just kind of seemed like I was staying in a place that doesn't want me to belong in there anymore. Like it wasn't ours anymore.
And the first opportunity that I had, I moved out and moved into the dorms, and then shortly thereafter I got an apartment, and really didn't come around much after that, because again, still embarrassed, and I just didn't want to be reminded of what my life kind of turned into, and I kind of was always running away from that. Kind of still am today.
Yeah, things have gotten better over the past couple of years, but we're still not at the point that any one of my family members wants to be at. Like, we just want to go back to living our normal lives with our whole family once again, but that's not going to happen. And